Today let's take up some of the journal entries relating to the banking transactions. Now I'll take up the important transactions relating to this. The first one I'll take up is cash deposited for opening an account. Opening an account in the bank. Here we are depositing the cash and opening the bank account, which means that the bank is receiving the money from you. If you remember, bank is a personal account, bank is the receiver of the money, bank balance is increasing here, right? Bank account debit, and you are paying cash to open that bank account. So cash account is going out of your hands. Cash is going out of your hands, so cash account will be credited, right? The second one, cash withdrawn from the bank. When we withdraw cash from the bank, we are getting cash. So cash, debit what comes in, cash comes in. So cash account will be debited and bank is giving the money to us. We are getting the money from the bank balance is getting reduced to bank account, like this, right? So when we deposit cash into the bank, cash is going out of our hands, so cash account will be credited, and when you withdraw cash from the bank, cash account is coming in, so cash account will be debited and bank account will be credited, right? Okay, now cash withdrawn from the bank for personal use. Now when cash is withdrawn from bank for personal use, it will be drawings account debit to bank account, because you are withdrawing it from the bank, so bank account will be credited, right? If the question just says cash withdrawn for personal use, right, then you can put it as drawings account to cash account, but if it is being withdrawn from the bank, though, it will be drawings account to bank account, right? Now the next one, payment by check to a creditor. We are paying the money to a creditor, but we are not paying in cash, we are paying by a check, right? So here it will be the creditor account debit to bank account. Whenever we are paying or receiving anything by check, then it will always be bank account, right? In this case, we are paying the money, so to bank account, and the creditor who is receiving the money, his account will be debited, right? Bank charges being charged by the bank. This is bank charges is an expense for us, right? Bank charges account debit. The bank is charging the money, so it is basically debit all expenses and losses, right, to bank account, fine. Okay, now suppose I put this check received from a debtor and deposited into the bank on the same day, right? So in this case, you are putting the money into the bank, check into the bank on the same day. So this is bank account debit to debtor account. right? Now, there may be a case when the check is received from a debtor and it is not deposited in the bank on the same day, right? So, here you will have an account which is called checks in hand account debit to debtor account. Now, when the checks in hand are deposited into the bank, then you will have bank account debit to checks in hand account. This will be the entry, right? Now, one more important entry for this banking transaction is when a check is dishonored. When a check is dishonored, when you receive a check, like here I had written an entry, check received from a debtor and deposited into the bank on the same day. This is check received from a debtor, bank account to debtor account. Normally, if nothing is given in the question as to when it is deposited, we generally assume that it is deposited on the same day. Bank account to debtor account is the entry when check is received and deposited. When the check is dishonored, you just make a reverse entry of that. You write debtor account debit to bank account. Okay. Now, when interest is allowed by the bank, then it is bank account debit, bank is giving the interest to interest received account, which is a income for us, right? If interest is charged by the bank, then it is interest account debit. Now, here interest is a interest account debit. This is debit all expenses and losses to bank account. Repayment of bank loan. Here you will have an account which is bank loan account debit to cash or bank account, right? If it is repaid in cash, then cash account. If it is repaid in by check, it is bank account. One more entry that I will take here is when you are transferring funds from one bank to another, right? So, here you will have the receiving bank account debit to the giving bank, or I will write to the bank which is giving the money from where the transfer is made, right? Okay. So, supposing I say this is transferring funds of rupees 10,000 from SBI to, let's say, Axis Bank. So, here the receiving bank is Axis Bank account debit, and the place from where the money is transferred is SBI. So, the amount, the balance in SBI is getting reduced, and the balance in Axis Bank is increasing, right. So this will be the entries pertaining to the banking transaction. In our next session, we will take up a question on these banking transactions and we will do some more journal entries.